Welcome to the Coalition here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, home of Gears of War. When Gears debuted in 2006, it instantly redefined the genre. And now in 2026, we're on the cusp of another rare moment. A chance to honor where we've been, celebrate with our fans, and lay the foundation for where Gears is going next. To get there, we're taking it all the way back to the day the world changed and the fight began, Emergence Day. It's a day of unimaginable loss that sits at the heart of our universe. And today, for the first time, we're ready to take you inside the studio and show you all the ways to play with our new movements, weapons, and modes that will make E-Day the most brutally satisfying Gears yet.
Is that all you got?
Before we talk about what this game is, I think it's important to share why we chose E-Day. When we started this project, we were moving to Unreal Engine 5. It was a new foundation with a blank slate. So we took a moment to reflect on what makes Gears so special to us and to our fans. And we realized that all of the things that make this world feel so unique, brotherhood, brutality, that melancholy beauty, and over-the-top spectacle, they're all perfectly set up in this one moment in time, E-Day. The moment the Locust ripped through the ground and changed the history of Serra forever. And to tell that story, we wanted to build an experience that evoked the vibes of the original Gears game. So we started with this one still from the Mad World trailer. It's Marcus facing down the Locust, defiantly firing into the darkness against overwhelming odds. And we said, this is the emotional core of Gears. This is the tone and feeling that we wanted to build our next game around.
This is our most ambitious game yet. E-Day is a story we haven't been able to tell before because we didn't have the technology to do it. We finally have the tools to reimagine the Gears world at a new, unprecedented level of detail. We're pushing Gears to new heights with the densest, most detailed world we've ever created. With seamless, large-scale environments.
It's even worse from up here.
Fully dynamic ray trace lighting. And richer real-time destruction. Starting with an empty hard drive, we literally rebuilt everything from scratch. Characters, enemies, weapons, animation, sound, the world itself. And then we tear it apart in front of you.
Watch out! Coming down!
You'll fight against bigger and more brutal enemies with new and craftier weapons and navigate the battlefield with more natural character movement so that every moment of emergence plays smoother and hits harder.
This is a game that feels like Gears, but plays like new.
Now, we're inside.
It's a return to the feelings that we had when we played the original games, but now reimagined, evolved, and enhanced with the power of a new engine.
E-Day is set before the events of the original Gears of War. After decades of conflict, peace has finally been declared on Serra, and the Gears have returned home.
Love you, baby.
Marcus Phoenix and Dominic Santiago are young veterans trying to adjust to civilian life while grieving the loss of someone they both loved. Carlos Santiago, Dom's older brother and Marcus's best friend.
To Carlos.
To Carlos. Best fucking brother anyone could ask for.
Carlos died in combat in a moment of sacrifice before the war ended, and without him, Marcus and Dom's relationship is distant.
The emotion from our refinery kept power running.
With the world just barely on the cusp of peace and our characters coming to terms with their new reality, the Locusts emerge and change everything.
The Coalition Emergency Broadcast System. There are reports of multiple tremors causing minor damage across Kelowna. Strap these up.
E-Day tells not one, but two origin stories. The start of this world falling apart and a brotherhood coming together. And over the course of 3 intense days, you'll see how loss reshapes this world and our characters, beginning with a night of desperate survival in a brand new city.
We decided to focus our story on just one city, so you could really feel what war does to people. When we started creating Kelowna, we wanted it to be more than just a backdrop. We wanted to feel alive, like it was another character in the story, packed with layers and personality. Kelowna used to be all about innovation and discovery. But years of industrialization for the Cog War effort totally reshaped it. With such a rich history, it made sense to lean into that classic Gears retro vibe. Towering architecture, robust vehicles, and grounded technology. Kind of like those gritty industrial cities from the 1970s. We also looked right outside these windows at the mountains, the ocean, and local landmarks to help give Kelowna its unique style. As you play the campaign, the city reveals itself through the main districts. The historic center, with its classic Gears architecture in stone and steel. The downtown core, more modern, reshaped by decades of industrial growth. The military airfield, set at the forest edge with shipyards nearby, the refineries, and supporting working-class neighborhoods, built around constant emulsion production.
Gears plays best in a city, and Kelowna is the ultimate battlefield. Kelowna's density, tight streets, mixed with open spaces, let us rethink how Gear moves through the world, and it created the perfect stage for greater scale and verticality in combat. Our soldiers are basically giant tanks in armor. They slam into cars, weaving through hails of bullets. And we wanted to keep that heaviness, but add more fluidity to how you move through the battlefield. Cover is life in Gears. And we've completely rebuilt our movement and cover systems, with smoother transitions and a bigger range of cover heights and shapes, including new low ground cover. And this all allows us to create more complex and organic feeling spaces than ever before. From Sprint, you can now slide, which lets you quickly get under objects, slide around corners, or transition more smoothly into cover from a run. And we added the ability to jump, which really opened up this citywide battleground. We get to play with more verticality, climbing walls and vehicles, or clearing gaps in crumbling buildings to reach new flanking routes. At the heart of our gameplay is still that great Gears combat puzzle. A mix of unique enemy combinations, tactical weapon choices, and your ability to read and move through the arena. But now you have more choice than ever, and we get these peaks of almost action movie sequences. You can throw yourself off a balcony, land next to your buddy and revive him, scramble through cover, slide under a truck, and hit safety on the other side. We get these amazing Gears playgrounds, small and large, where all these elements come together, and the city is filled with them.
Our missions move across the city, from linear fights in narrow streets and alleys to more open districts, where you have access to entire neighborhoods. Now you have strategic choices. Do you take the enemy head-on? Do you flank them from a side entrance? Or do you climb up to the balcony across the street and take them all out with your long shot? It's up to you. And if you're playing co-op with your friends, well, then you can try all three at the same time. Taking your own path reveals small stories from the city. Survivors trapped in an apartment.
There's a civilian in that building, 4th floor.
A Raven crashed in the distance. A group of Gears readying an ambush. You still have your orders, but it's up to you to decide where you offer to help or how much of the city you choose to explore.
And that city is fully realized. To create a city of this scale and detail, we needed to invest in an entire suite of tools. Tools for roads, intersections, sidewalks, e-holes, buildings, rooftops, and pipes. We have a procedural content generation toolset for scattering millions of pieces of trash and debris across the ground to make Kelowna feel lived in. This is the largest, most complex location you've ever seen in a Gears game.
But the board control is connected to an older antenna. I can reconfigure their radios to reach Afira.
Do it. The remaining Gears will hold the fort.
In other Gears games, the world's basically already dead. There are very few human survivors left. But in E-Day, you're watching a live city get ripped apart in front of you. People who once went to work, sporting events, and celebrated the possibility of peacetime are now stopped in their tracks. They abandon their cars and run for survival, attempting to find refuge in subways or stores. A glimpse of a child's toy or dinner left uneaten are reminders of what's been lost and the horror of what the locusts have unleashed.
You'll experience the locust decimation at all scales in E-Day through our customized destruction technology. E-holes are back, unleashing waves of enemies from under your feet at any moment.
As a game design element, getting to use E-holes again as a spawn mechanic is brilliant. Locusts can come out of the ground anywhere, you can toss a grenade in to close them up. It just adds this great tactical layer to encounters.
But you'll also encounter massive sinkholes that'll pull down vehicles and entire buildings. And no amount of detail is too small, as micro-destruction goes beyond what we've ever done before with chippable cover across a range of materials. Your impact is real, visceral, and leaves a mark on the world. Destroyed Beauty has long been a visual pillar of Gears of War, and we finally get to show the before, making the after hit that much harder. You'll recognize a neighborhood that was once intact is now completely destroyed. You'll walk through city streets filled with smoke and fire, and it feels completely different from how you first experienced it. You start getting this real feeling of the city's a character, and it's really under attack. It's the fall of Kelowna.
E-Day is an intentionally intimate story. There's this colossal event going on in the plot, but the actual characters and the journey they go on is where you get to explore themes of burden, of loss, and of loyalty. The whole world of Gears is about characters. It's the nightmarish monsters from below versus the soldiers that hold the line in a war for survival.
You okay? No way this is real. It's pretty fucking real to me. On your feet.
This was our opportunity to focus on what makes Gears characters so special and what makes our enemies so iconic. The entire campaign is played from the perspective of our new squad, Bravo. As the invasion breaks out, you'll meet Mags Carter, a former Gear now sweating it out at Kelowna's emulsion refinery.
Now, why don't you come talk shit when your balls drop? And quit going through my stuff.
And you'll also meet rookie cadet Lucas Reyes. A sharp comms officer who never made it to the front lines despite his dreams of military glory.
Holy fucking shit!
Mags and Lucas